the wait, wondering why you had not arrived.
I remember the drive, distracting myself from the inevitable.
I remember the feeling of dread sinking into my stomach.
I remember my brother and the police calling to do a welfare check.
I remember the anticipation, hoping that it was going to be all okay.
I remember the last call finalizing my feeling of despair.
I remember the wails and the screams echoing in my ears. I remember the search for the source, realizing it was me.
I remember going to your house, staring blankly out the passenger window, crying. I remember the arrival, witnessing the police and medical examiner.
I remember the people lying to me about how you had passed. I remember being alone, sitting in the deafening silence.
I remember you being taken out in a body bag. The body bag like a black hole stealing away all of my light and happiness.
This is intense.
I remember it being late at night, lying restless, not sleeping. I remember the next morning, disbelieving on the night before.
I remember the next few months blurring together, days and weeks, undistinguished from each other.
I remember the time we spent together. I remember the nicknames, missing them every day.
I remember the music in your truck, singing along to Toby Keith and Meat Loaf or Tom Jones.
I remember Turf Paradise going to see the horses race, betting on which one would win. I remember the last Triple Crown after your passing, knowing that was one of your last dreams to see.
I remember the trips going around the country, visiting Louisiana so you could see home.
I remember the Mongolian Rim, camping and exploring for days.
I remember how happy you made me.
I remember the funeral, breaking down when I tried to speak. I remember the room, people spilling out of the doors. I remember people saying, "I'm sorry for your loss," responding numbly with a thank you because I didn't know what to say.
There's nothing good to say to that. That's just really sad.
I wish I could have been there for the funeral. I still feel bad that I wasn't. Showing up after 2 weeks, people wondering where I had been. I remember my struggle with emotions, the anger, the depression, the grief.
I remember being at school, feeling cathartic and misunderstood. I remember my friends not knowing how to understand what I was going through, not blaming them because they could not understand.
I remember my brother saying he would take care of me, yet abandoning me, betraying me at his first chance.
I remember my struggle with emotions, the anger, the depression, the grief.
I remember your hugs, feeling protected from the world, forgetting this feeling as time had passed.
I remember your voice, losing the sound of it slowly. I remember your last words to me, feeling comforted from the pain.
I remember our last goodbye, imprinted on my brain. I remember the legal battles going on still, seeming to never end.
I remember everything from the worst day of my life, replaying over and over in my mind, torturing me.
I look to the future, remembering that you won't be there for my graduation,
For my college.
For my wedding.
For my children.
For my life. And I remember my struggle with emotions.
The anger, the depression, the grief.
But in the end, I remember you. I remember your love for me, your support for me, your pride for me. I remember that you will always watch over me.
I don't think anyone could really contemplate what is actually going on. I've never been through anything like this. I haven't even lost a grandparent yet. I can't imagine the torture and the feelings that have gone through your mind.
I'm still here struggling to stay afloat, feeling like drowning some days just so I can see you again.
I'm still here, keeping my act from falling apart, pretending every day that I'm okay, that I'm fine.
I'm still wishing I had you, knowing that it's been a while before I do.
I'm still here looking for my best friend. It's been 3 years. I just want these feelings to end.
But people say it'll get better with time, but I, deep inside, know it won't.
Every day I still miss you. Every day I still can't hug you. Every day I still can't hear from you. Every day I still can't talk to you, yet every day I still love you.